Hi everyone, Gabester here again with another Starcraft 2 commentary guide. This video is for the Tactical Command Challenge, part of the single player pack of challenges. And this video will show you how to achieve a gold rating on that. This particular run is also a perfect run without any unit loss. So again, if you want a little extra challenge, I encourage you to try it. It's pretty hard. But let's get started. So the basic strategy is to take parts of the group of units that you start with and decide which ones counter the three various attacking waves here, the Zerg enemies. And so you split them up into three groups. They can't help each other once they're split, so you kind of want to balance which ones you pick. So the first set, you want to take all your Hellions and go up to the top for the Zerglings, and this is a really simple wave. Just bunch up your Hellions in one control group, kind of push them against a wall, have them stop and fire. Once they fire, you just run backwards and just kite the Zerglings. So run back for a few seconds while your weapon shot is recharging, since it's 2.5 speed, and then hit S to stop your Hellions, and that'll automatically have them attack nearby units, which means all those Zerglings that are bunched up. And just repeat this process a few times. If you get a Hellion like that gets low, just migrate him away from the back, and you'll be fine. Second wave, initially set up, you want to move just your siege tank over there. Kind of put him near the back somewhere and siege him up. The placement isn't important, just that the spot you pick has his outside edge of his siege range, not within the creep. So what that will do is just prevent the Banelings from getting any movement speed bonus when you're actually able to attack them. Otherwise, one siege tank is good enough. And the strategy here is you're going to get two siege shots off basically before they reach the depot. So you can't really control the first one because it fires so quickly once they get in range. But the second one, you want to force the shot into the center of whichever Banelings are left so that it does maximum damage with the splash. So if you get started here, you'll see what I mean. So the first shot here, I can't really control, and it just hits the front. But then the second one, I think I hit this Baneling, I'm pretty sure, and that will hit these three. So really, this one or this one would have been ideal. It will take out three Banelings and leave two over. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea, is just control your second shot to try to get as many Banelings as possible, hit in the center. But really this is simple. All you need to do is kill at least enough so that there's only 4 or fewer Banelings remaining, because 4 will not be able to kill your depot. So that's that. And then the third wave for round 1 is really the hardest wave in probably the entire challenge, because you have a bunch of Mutalisks and all you have is Marines, a few Medevacs, and your Ghost. So what you want to do here is sort of keep your Marines and the Medevacs in the back. Try to keep your Medevacs kind of near the front, not real far in front so they're attacked first, but close enough so that you're able to quickly pick up Marines if you need to. Then move your Ghost way forward, cloak him up when the Mutalisks are about to come in, and use him to sort of just soften them up. Use your sniper round as much as you can. Make sure your cloak stays up. And then the basic strategy is to preemptively stim kind of far in advance of the Mutalisks actually reaching you, and that way the 10 hit point loss from stim is sort of healed up by the time the Mutalisks get there. And then from that point on, sort of watch your Marine health closely. They get attacked really fast, and if you see any Marines getting low, quickly select them and right click your Medevac, and that'll suck them up and protect them. Think of the Medevac as just the sort of mobile bunker used to protect your units. So that's the basic strategy here. So there's the preemptive stim. I got cloak, sniping a few mutas, and then once they get in range, they aggro the Marines, and from here you're just kind of microing. So you saw one was getting attacked, so I picked him up in there. And let's see, there's another one. Here's one here. He gets picked up. And there you go. So as you can see, those guys got pretty low, and you'll have to try this a lot if you're going for 0 losses. It's hard to get a concave. I wouldn't bother with it. I'd just keep them packed up and then just work on microing them in when they get attacked. So let's move on. So the next round, you've got Marauders, Tanks, Marines, Medevacs, Ghost again. So what you want to do is you want to take 3 tanks, move them over to the east against this Ultralisk. Take all your Marauders to the north for Roaches. Take everything else, your 3 tanks, your Marines, your Ghosts, your Medevacs, for the Hydras. And then once you're kind of got all your units in the right area, you can go ahead and hit ready. I'll speed it up here. Oops, I forgot to hit play. Yeah. Anyway, so the strategy here, let me back up so we can actually see that. So for the Marauders, the strategy is really get them in a concave and make sure that concave is just outside of this choke, because if you're too far forward when you're trying to escape with any weakened Marauders, you're going to run into the wall here. So if you form the concave just outside here, you've got this opening that lets you escape easily. So you can see this is kind of the setup here. I'm just kind of getting them positioned. And then once the roaches start to come in, stim all your Marauders, and then just watch their health closely so that you can let them attack freely. If you're really good at micro, I suppose you can micro a few, but be careful, because if you select all your Marauders and attack a far roach, say, these will be out of range and they'll move and get attacked more and all that. So I think it's better just to let them kind of attack on their own. And when you see one get orange or start getting attacked, just click it and move it back, and that'll save it. So there's one there, and this one, and that guy, and so on. So really just about the position and then just microing them. For the tanks against the Ultra, this is possible with 2 tanks with a little luck, but it's easy with 3. What you want to do is get them in a vertical line like this, and all packed up tight. And the idea is you want to kite the Ultralisk. So the tanks here have an attack speed of just over 1 second. And so what you're going to do is let all 3 tanks fire, and then you right click back here, and that'll force the tanks to move. You wait for about a second, you hit your S key, which gets the tanks to all stop at the same time, and then they all fire again. Then you move back, wait a second, hit S, they all fire again, and repeat, and so on. And it's not too bad. You will get attacked. So if you're worried about, like say this tank, he's getting kind of low, so you might want to micro a particular tank out and leave the other ones to soak up the damage and do the damage, but with 3 tanks it's really not that bad. And there you go. And then the final round is the hardest one, similar to the first round, their final fight. But the basic setup here is you've got 3 siege tanks, so just kind of form a little bit of a concave behind your depot to offer a little protection. And siege them up, because siege does tons of damage to Hydralisks. And then keep your Marines kind of between your tanks, similar to the third round or third fight of the last round. You want to get your Medevacs kind of in front so that they can pick up any Marines. Remember, you can't pick up your tank if it's in siege mode. So the idea is you kind of want to use, as stupid as this sounds, you want to use your stimmed Marines as sort of a distraction and a shield wall, a tank against taking damage from your tanks. That's confusing. But they want to soak up the damage from Hydras so that your tank here, or if this one's too far forward, this one perhaps, doesn't take all the damage. Then of course use your Ghost early on, use Cloak, and then snipe everything. You can try to snipe. I try to snipe like once per target rather than double tapping everything to kill it, because then a single siege shot will finish it off. So, but that's up to you. And then you'll notice what happens when you attack with your Marines. Of course, they'll move up here to get in range, and they'll get attacked really quickly. So what I like to do is move up, let them fire a bit, move back while they get healed, move up, move back, move up, move back. And meanwhile, whichever tank has aggro, this one in this case, is going to get fired upon by the Hydras. So the idea is just to sort of manage that damage against the tank so it survives. You can see that it gets really close here. So I'm sniping, letting tanks do most of the damage. I pre-stim, I move forward, back, and then soak up the damage from that tank. So again, make sure you save before these rounds so that you can reload a bunch if you need to. The final round is pretty easy, actually. I would say it's the easiest one. And the reason for that is just because the difficult... I don't know, there's really nothing that's difficult about any of these packs because you're given like 5 Thors to deal with Mutalisks, which is insane, that kind of thing. But anyway, so take all your Thors down to the Mutalisk area. Take all your siege tanks and your Marauders, plus your medevacs to the right for the Hydra and Roach. And set up your tanks in a concave here so that they get sort of a siege concave going. Put your Marauders in front slightly with your medevacs. And just like before, your medevacs are used to escape, for your Marauders to escape if they get low. And lastly, move up all your Hellions and your Vikings to the top. And that'll deal with the brood lords and the Zerglings. So let me speed it up until we're in place. And you can see I'm getting my siege going. Okay, let me stop here. So as soon as this round starts at the top, it's the first round, what you want to do is immediately select all your Vikings and then fly them right up into this area. Because remember, these cannot attack, nor can the Zerglings obviously, they can't attack air. So you want to engage as soon as possible. So what I do is I pick all my Vikings and I right click on the first Brood Lord, then I hold shift, right click the next one, shift, keep holding shift and click all through them. So you get this queue of attacks. So that just basically forces all your Vikings to attack the same target and really get them quick. Meanwhile, you've taken all your Hellions, moved them as far back as you can. And what that'll do is that'll just give you as much time as possible for the Broodlords to get killed before they can actually attack with broodlings on your Hellions. And then from there, you just micro your Hellions similar to how the very first fight in the first round was. Just let them fire, move a little bit, fire, let them move a little, and so on. So this is really easy. Second round, you've got your siege tanks kind of in this concave. Move up your medevacs to your Marauders, pre-stim your Marauders. The idea here is your siege tanks should really do most of the damage. The Marauders are just sort of soaking up and helping with roaches primarily. So make sure you watch your Marauder health and right click them into medevacs if they get low. But it's not too bad. So there's the pre-stim. You can see I kind of let them take a hit and then I move back and I soak up or pick up a couple Marauders that were getting low, and then from there it's all killed. So pretty easy. In the last setup, you've got all your Thors, so form them in a concave here, and then you've got your Ghost. Just like usual, use your Ghost to move up, forward, cloak, and use Sniper Round to weaken the targets. But really this is not that hard. All you need to do is just watch whichever Thor gets focused and micro him away. Obviously Thors are not super fast, but as soon as you start moving away, the mutas will pick a new target pretty much. So you can kind of see there's the cloak, started snipes. This guy gets focused, so I move him back, and they just switch to this one, and move him back, and they're dead. Really, really simple. So really this round you shouldn't have much trouble at all, and easily get within 10 units. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and good luck.